Welcome back to another episode in this Minecraft mod making series. This is episode 5, and in this episode we are going to be making our own Minecraft tools. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go under our items note and type public static item, capital I, and then we're going to type Ruby pick. Then type space equals space new Ruby pick. Open parentheses. So you can see we are going to make a pickaxe right now based on what I named it. So the first thing you're going to type in these brackets is your ID. So I'm going to put 3143, and then you're going to type a comma and space and type Ruby M, capital M, and then outside of the parentheses put a period, and then type set unlocalized, capital U, and then capital M in name. Dot set unlocalized name, open parentheses, quotation marks, and then type Ruby pick, however you wrote it back here, so obviously capital R and capital P right here. And then after this you're going to type dot set, capital T texture, capital N in name, open parentheses, quotation marks, and then in all lowercase type Ruby mod colon, and then you're going to do uppercase R for Ruby and then capital P in pick. Put a semicolon at the end. So as usual, we're making a new item and we're naming it, the unlocalized name is going to be Ruby pick, so when we go into our en_us.lang file, we're going to be able to edit the name based on what we put here. And then we have our texture name, which is what we're going to be calling our picture we put in for the item. So we do have an error right here. It's because we don't have the class yet, but we also don't have this thing called RubyItem. And so for this next part, we're going to be making a tool material. So the next step in what we're going to do is we're going to make a new tool material. That's what RubyM is. It's going to be called Ruby material or whatever you put right here. So to do this, we're going to need to make a new note called materials. In this note, you're going to type public static tool material, capital T and capital M, space Ruby M, what we named it down here, and then you're going to put a space equals space, and then type enum, E-N-U-M, capital E, helper, capital H in helper, and then you're going to put a period. And you can see we have all of these options. We're going to focus on this one at the bottom called add tool material. Double tap on that, and then you'll see we have all these options we can put in. So the first one is name. What we're going to do for this one is we'll have to put it in quotes and type in all caps Ruby M. Then you can see we have something called the harvest level. If we double click on that and delete it, we can type in our own harvest level. The harvest level is what kind of pickaxe it's going to be. For example, if we put in 3, that's diamond level. I believe 2 is iron and 1 is stone. So we're going to put in 3. Max uses is how many hits you can use it with, and I will put in 1500. Then you have efficiency right here, and what you will have to do is you'll have to make it a float, so you'll have to type 10.0f. Okay. The next one is how fast you harvest blocks. So I'm going to put 10.0f. Remember to put the F at the end. And then it says, and the next one is damage. So this one's pretty self-explanatory. It's how much damage it will deal. For example, if I put 1 in, that is half a heart. If I put 2 in, that's 1 full heart of damage. So if I wanted it to equal 3 hearts, I'd have to double that, so it would be 6. And let's make it, I'll make mine 4. And then this is the enchantability at the end, and I'm just going to put 15 in. and at the end you just put a semicolon, and we have an error at tool material. Hover over it and import it to net.minecraft.item.item, and that should fix that error. And the only error we have left is this Ruby pick, which we haven't made yet, obviously. Save it right there before you get too far. Now what we're going to do is we're going to register our pickaxe. So under items, we're going to type game registry dot register item open parentheses, and in these open parentheses you are going to type Ruby pick, comma, space, quotation marks, Ruby pick. At the end put a semicolon, and there's no errors there. Now we will want to go down to the recipes and add a new recipe for this. So under this recipes note that we made in the last episode, you're going to type game registry dot add recipe, capital R in recipe, open parentheses, new item stack, capital I, capital S, open parentheses. So in these open parentheses, we're going to type what it will make. So in our case, we're going to type Ruby pick because we want this recipe to output a Ruby pick, and we only want it to output one of them. So we'll type a comma and a space and then 1. Then after this first set of parentheses, but before the last one, you're going to type a comma and a space, then type new, capital O in object, and then square brackets, and then you're going to type an open bracket like that, and press enter. Now in here we're going to make one set of quotation marks, a comma and a space, another set, comma, space, and another set, comma, space, single quotations, and a comma. And this, like in the last episode, is just how our crafting table looks. If we type 3 spaces in here in each of these are the 3 rows, top, middle, bottom. And in the top row we're going to want to make 3 rubies. In the middle we're going to want a stick, so we'll just make it an O. And in the bottom we'll make it another stick, so we can make our ruby pickaxe with 3 rubies and then 2 sticks. And so now we'll have to tell it what each represents. So the capital X will be a ruby item, and then we're going to put a comma, space, single quotations, and then you're going to type a lowercase o in here, or whatever you put right here, and then you're going to put a comma, space, and then type items dot stick. And no errors, put a semicolon at the end, and looks like it's accepting it, and then hit the save button. Now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to make a new class called RubyPick under RubyMod.item. So under here, right click it, make a new class, and we'll call this one RubyPick. Hit finish. So as you can see, it made a new class for us called RubyPick. And now what we'll need to type is right after it says RubyPick right here, leave a space in between and type extends item pickaxe. Hover over item pickaxe and click import to net.minecraft.item. Then hover over RubyPick and press add constructor. So now we have this weird looking thing right here. You can delete this note, it's just it doesn't have any meaning to it to us right now, so you can delete it. And now we'll need to make a couple fixes to this constructor. So right in here in these parentheses, you're going to type int I, comma, space, and you're also going to change protected to public. And now we press enter a couple times in these brackets right here. Inside these brackets we're going to put this dot set creative tab. You can see it comes up right here. And we're going to type creative tabs dot, and you can see it shows us all the tabs we can use. This one we're going to want to put under tab tools, wherever that is, right here, and just put a semicolon at the end. and it looks like it imported the creative tabs. But if you have an error here, all you need to do is hover over it and import it to net.minecraft.creativetab.creativetabs, and that should fix any errors you will have there. Now what you're going to need to do is we'll go back to our Ruby mod main page, and we're going to type in the imports. Just press this plus sign to show your imports. Right at the bottom, import ruby mod dot item dot ruby pick. In other words, what we named it right here. Don't forget to save both of these, and that should get rid of all the errors, and it has. So now we're going to need to name our pick. So you can see our unlocalized name for our Ruby pick is Ruby pick, all one word, capital R and capital P. So we'll go under en_us.lang. As usual, you can find it right under here under assets.rubymod.lang. Double click it, and then we'll type item.rubypick.name equals Ruby Pickaxe, if I could spell. Save it, exit out of there, and now we have named our item. So now what we're going to need to do is we'll need to make a texture for it, and I'll be right back after I finish making the texture. As usual, you can download it in the link below. All you will need to do is it'll redirect you to AdFly, and you'll wait 5 seconds. In the top right corner it'll say skip ad. Once it's ready, you have to wait 5 seconds, and then it'll redirect you to MediaFire where you can download the image. The way you will find your textures folder is you will need to go into our MCM tutorial folder and double tap this one. Tap source, and then you'll need to go to main, then resources, assets, Ruby mod, and textures. Then double tap items and paste your image in there. You can exit out of there now, and it should show up in here, and it has. That's very good. Now let's see if our texture works, and just see if our pickaxe works at all. I will be right back once it finishes loading. Alright, it loaded without crashing. That's always a good sign. So let's go into our world and see if it is in our tools tab first of all. So let's go here, and it is. That's a very good sign. Now let's see if, and it also has this texture, so that's good. So let's type that, and let's see if it works the way we want it to as a pickaxe. Alright, seems to work like a pickaxe. Let's see if it... Okay, good. So it looks like it's working perfectly, and let's see the damage it's taking. Oops. Okay, that's good, that's good. The way to see if your pickaxe is working, you will need to go into Minecraft and obviously check your creative tabs first and see if it is in the tools section, which mine is. The next thing you're going to want to do is see if it mines stone, only stone. Oh, first I was thinking that's kind of weird. I'm in creative mode, so go into survival mode to see if it will mine dirt fast, and it will not. The next thing you're going to want to do is you'll need to see how much durability it has. As you can see, it will tell me here, but the way to make it appear on your computer is you press F3 and then H, and that will show it, and then remove it. So F3H, and there you go. And then the final thing we'll need to test is we'll need to see if the crafting recipe works fine. So let's put the crafting table down and get a stick. Perfect. That's great. And it looks like our Ruby pickaxe is working perfectly. Now I'll just make the rest of the tools, and I'll be right back. Alright, I've finished making everything. Here's all the textures I have, and now you can see I have imported all my items up here, and I've gotten them all down here. So all I did was I set the texture name to what I wanted to name the texture and just renamed all these, just copy and pasted. And down here I did the same thing. And then I added the recipes right here. And I did make, for the Ruby axe, I made it go to the right side and the left side. Whoa, that might be an error. Ooh. And I did the same for the hoe. And over here, you can see all I did was extend the item axe, extend item hoe, and for this one you want to extend item spade and not shovel. But I just did the same thing for all these, and then obviously I created their names in en_us.lang. And now the only thing left to do is to run Minecraft and check to see if everything is working okay. So let's hop into our world, and the first thing I'm going to want to test out is probably to go and see if our crafting recipes work. So we do have sticks, and let's see if our axe works both ways. That's good. See if our hoe works both ways. Yep. Ooh, our shovel texture's a little strange. That's okay though. And finally, let's see. Let's make all these tools actually, first of all. Oops. Okay, that's a lot. But we also need to check the durability. I'm pretty sure it'll be the same because we're using the same tool material. Now, why doesn't that show? Oh, because it's a hoe. Okay, I see. Let's test out to see if the hoe works first. Good. Let's go into game mode 0. Nice. Awesome. See, these all have the same durability, and they all have the textures on them. And it looks like our mod is working great. So there you go. If you want to make different types of tools with different materials, you now know how to make your tool material, your item, and your tools. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Minecraft mod making tutorial. If you enjoyed it and want me to continue making content, oh, creepy. If you enjoyed this episode and want me to continue making content for you guys, please hit the subscribe button and also click like. It helps out a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. And so for Windows, we have Windows times 86, which is 32-bit, and Windows times 64, which is 64-bit. So download one of these corresponding to what we just found out in our system display right here.